Man, I wish I learned this when I was younger, because I could have been in a better place. I'm grateful for where I'm at, but I could have been in better situations and things like that. I wanted to go over the power of saying no. I feel like a lot of people are stuck in situations, or getting stuck in situations, because they're afraid to say no to people. And I was someone who was always afraid to say no to people. Um, and I'll go more in depth with that. But you know, like I was a people pleaser. Like, I always wanted to make sure everyone else around me was good. I wanted to make sure people were doing better. Making sure that everyone was happy, but I wasn't focusing on myself. So this power of saying no, it comes with setting boundaries. That's the beauty of it. And to go deeper into that, what I mean is, when you're saying yes, for example, when you're saying yes all the time to certain situations, like, for a fact, you should have said no. Like, say you have these goals, you're looking to, build muscle, you're looking to work out, you're looking to get healthy. You're in school, you have homework, you have a project, you have an essay, or you have a business to run, and you're not studying on your business, you're not studying on your craft. You're not working towards your business. You're not trying to grow it. Or if you play sports, you're not practicing, you're not working on your craft, you're not, working on your jump shot, things of that nature. And when you're saying yes to hanging out, you're saying yes to going out clubbing, drinking, you're saying yes to, doing anything that has nothing to do with your goal. When you have a deadline, when you have this goal, when you really want something, you go ahead and do it. Not say yes to things that's not gonna help you get there. So when you're saying yes to those things, the things that are not aligned with what you want, you're obviously, a lot of people don't think about it, but you're saying no to those goals, right? You're saying no to getting my body right for the summer. You're saying no to getting to the bag. Like, come on. You gotta be real with yourself. Like, say you're trying to build up a savings account, or you're looking to save money to invest into something. And every time money hits your account, first thing you do is go and spend. Your friends invite you to go out, you go and splurge, you spend the bag. When you know for a fact you don't really got it like that, or for a fact that you need to save this money, like you have an investment idea, but you go out there and splurge. You say yes to this BS, and you're in reality saying no to your goals. You know? So that's what I mean. Like, you need to have that power of saying no to the things that don't align with what you want, you know? More like, oh my bad, just reading something on my phone. But pretty much the power of saying no. I feel like once you have that power, once you tell people no when it comes to things that don't align with what you want, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, you know, you you gain like respect. You gain that respect. People understand, like, oh damn, for example, Josh just started saying no. Joshua was always hanging out. Josh was always down. But now Josh don't want to chill with me. Josh don't want to do this. Josh don't want to hang out. Josh don't want to spend time. Forget that. Don't say, don't be, don't say no. How do I word it? Like, say no unapologetic. I don't know how to pronounce it, but don't apologize for saying no. That's what I meant to say. Like, don't care about what anyone has to say, because it's your life. No one's gonna get it for you. You have to get it for yourself. So don't say no with don't apologize for saying no. Just say no with conviction. Like, you know what you want, you know what you deserve, you know your time. So once you start saying no, you gain a level of respect. People start respecting your time more. People understand, like, okay, Josh is focused, right? Josh is focused on his business. Josh is focused on his personal growth. And that's what you get from, learning how to say no. Another thing, you gain peace. You gain a peace of mind. When you're focused on yourself, you're not looking for other people's validation. You're not doing things for other people. You're now focused on yourself. You're in your own environment, you're in your own space, you're in your own playground. Like, you know what you want to do, when you want to do it. You're working on yourself, and you gain that peace of mind where, all right, I don't have to please anyone else. I'm just working on myself. It's just me versus me. So you protect your energy. You don't mix around with people who have bad energy, people who are draining, people who don't have goals or aspirations, people who don't have the things that align with you, you know? So it's the best thing in life. You got to protect your energy. That's the only way you're going to grow. So once you start saying no to people, you protect your energy. You gain that thing back. Another thing is, you start hitting your goals. You gain that back, right? You didn't come in this world to please anyone. You came here to please yourself. You came here by yourself. You're gonna leave this earth by yourself. The time you spend on this earth, you're never gonna get it back. So make sure you're using that time wisely. Make sure you're focusing on yourself, because this is advice I wish I listened to. I probably have heard it many times from older people, but when you're young, you don't want to listen. You have an ego, or you just choose to think however you want, you know. But something I learned growing up, you have to learn from people who have what you want. So this is something that I had to learn. I had to learn to just say no to things that don't align with my vision. Cause now I'm in a more peaceful state of mind. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what so-and-so is doing. I don't care what's really going on. All I'm focused on is my goals, my dreams. I don't care what anyone else is doing. If you're doing good for yourself, that's amazing. I support you. I'm gonna love you. God bless you. But if you don't align with what I want in life, it has nothing to do for me. It doesn't, if it's not for me, it's not for me. And that's how you guys should think. That's how you guys should have. That's something that you guys should learn and should have in your mind at all times. If it's not for you, leave it alone. Just protect your peace. Say no. Set boundaries. I promise you, like, you're gonna feel way much better about your life. Feel way much better about yourself when you're just focusing on yourself. I promise you. Another thing I want to say, something that has been sticking with me the past few days, is that damn, I just had it in my mind, but honestly forgot it. If I come up with that thing I want to spread to you guys, it'll come out. I'll probably add it to the video. But to end it off, if you ever felt like you said yes to the things you should have said no to, give this video a like. And if you want to hear more about, growth, going over mindset, things of that nature, or just hear me talk, this is a growing channel. It's all about growth, elevation. Please subscribe. God bless you guys. Peace out. Hold on. If you're still watching, continue. I remember what I needed to say. And I feel like this part is really gonna hit way harder than the rest of the video. So continue watching this video. Okay, now I remember what I had to say. Pretty much the worst thing you could do in life is not be yourself. Not live for you. Not live the true life that, that you gotta live for you, for yourself. I think that's the worst thing you could do in life. Is not live for yourself and try to live for, other people's expectations. That's the worst thing you could do, is not be yourself and live for other people's expectations, trying to become, a whole different character for other people's validation. You don't want to do that, I promise you, because you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna hurt the inner you, and you'll never be happy. You'll never, ever be content.